Story appears ordinary till you see the core side of it.
And what you're looking for is the story behind the news.
We bring it to you from Lagos, the commercial capital of Nigeria.
Giving you all sides and political stories round the clock.
Every detail from the start line to the final whistle.
CoreTV News, expanding your view.
Hello, good evening, and thank you for joining us on CoreTV Primetime News. I am Nifemi Oguntoye. In our major story, a few days after authorities issue warning on Boko Haram plans to attack soft targets, scores killed in Gombe and Bauchi market explosions. The Independent National Electoral Commission says the 2015 general elections will be better than that of 2011. And the Buhari Campaign Organization promises an issue-based campaign towards the 2015 presidential election. Nigeria, French police arrest an apparently mentally imbalanced driver who targeted pedestrians in Paris with two of his victims in serious condition. We'll begin tonight in Gombe State, where another explosion rocked the ever-busy Bauchi Central Market on Monday, few hours after terrorists hit the motor park. At least 21 people were killed in the Gombe blast that took place early in the morning. Reports say that the Bauchi explosion occurred between 5:24 p.m. and 6 p.m. on Monday, as people were closing for the day. Although the casualty figure is still unknown, unconfirmed reports say more than 10 people died in the incident. Several people injured in the blast have reportedly been rushed to the Abubakar Tafawa Balewa Teaching Hospital for treatment. Meanwhile, suspected Boko Haram members have carried out a bomb attack on the bus terminal in Gombe town less than 1 week after the Nigerian authorities warned of likely attacks on soft targets. The bomb went off on Monday morning at the Duku Motor Park, killing scores of people at the crowded terminal. Security forces confirmed an explosion at the park but have yet to give a casualty figure. It's the second bomb attack on a bus terminal in Gombe town in about a month. Senate President David Mark has, however, challenged security operatives to uncover the sponsors of the lingering insurgency in the country. He also charged community leaders and citizens alike to cooperate with security agencies in order to expose the financiers of criminal acts. Chief Press Secretary to the Senate President Paul Mume quotes his principal as stating after decorating his aide-de-camp, our Chief Superintendent of Police Abel Miri with his new rank of Assistant Commissioner of Police. Senator Mark believes that unmasking the sponsors of Boko Haram within and outside the country is one sure way of ending their protracted activities. A former Chief of Army Staff, Lieutenant General Azubike Ejirika, has filed a $100 billion libel suit against Australian hostage negotiator Stephen Davis for accusing him of sponsoring Boko Haram. Ejirika filed the suit before an Abuja High Court through a team of lawyers led by 3 senior advocates of Nigeria. He also seeks an order compelling the defendant to publish a dull and unqualified retraction and apology conspicuously in the front page of a newspaper to assuage the plaintiff for the said false, malicious, and libelous publication. This, according to Ejirika, is because he retired after serving the army without blemish, but has had his image tarnished by the Australian who linked him with insurgents. The plaintiff has since obtained an order of court to serve the process on the defendant abroad, and his lawyers have consequently applied to the Ministry of Foreign Affairs to enable them serve Davis, who lives in Perth, Australia. The police authorities say operational strategies are in place to enhance security provision during this year's Christmas holiday and beyond. Police spokesman Emmanuel Ojukwu said in a statement that Inspector General Sulaiman Abba has since directed all zonal assistant inspectors general of police and commissioners in charge of state commands to ensure police visibility and patrols in their domains. The police is also deploying their striking units, including Police Mobile Force, Special Protection Unit, Counter-Terrorism Unit, and Anti-Bomb Squad as part of the security measures. The police air wing will carry out air surveillance patrols, while the marine police will ensure a sustained patrol of all waterways. Operators of public places are further advised to be vigilant and ensure they properly screen all visitors and users of the facilities during the Yuletide celebration. Members of the public are also urged to report any suspicious movement in their areas to the police. The Bring Back Our Girls group on Monday visited the Pakistani embassy in Abuja to condole with the Asian country over the murder of 145 school children and teachers by the Taliban in Peshawar, Pakistan. The group said in a statement issued after the visit that it was concerned over the killing and urged the international community to work together in setting up processes that protect children in and out of school in conflict-prone areas. It also challenged the global community to join hands and confront terrorists everywhere they exist. The protest movement compared the Peshawar killings to the murder of 59 school children in Federal Government College Buniyadi in 2013. 23 students of Government Comprehensive Senior Science Secondary School, Potiskum, Yobe State, in November 2014, as well as the abduction in April 2014 of 276 Chibok girls, with 219 of them still missing. The Economic and Financial Crimes Commission has honored several of its past and present operatives who contributed to the successes it has recorded since inception in 2003. Aside from rewarding pioneer staff, the FCC leadership also singled out a number of operatives for acts ranging from solving difficult cases to securing convictions. Basiaye has more from the Commission's maiden rewards and recognition ceremony in Abuja. I'm afraid we'll bring you details of that report subsequently. We'll take a break now and we'll be back with more. Don't go away.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Professor.
My former students.
Happy birthday
Every day, life is made better by the moments of surprise we create for others and for ourselves. Be better. Surprise someone this season and make sure to text 11 to 400 to get a surprise from MTN.
MTN, everywhere you go.
Do not deface public property. Do the right thing. Let's change the way we think.
Welcome back. If you just joined us, you're on to CoreTV Primetime News. A quick reminder of our major stories. A few days after authorities issued warning of Boko Haram plans to attack soft targets, scores are killed in Gombe and Bauchi market explosions. The Independent National Electoral Commission says the 2015 general elections will be better than that of 2011. The Buhari Campaign Organization promises an issue-based campaign towards the 2015 presidential election outside Nigeria. And moving on now, the Independent National Electoral Commission is convinced that the 2015 elections will be more credible than that of 2011. INEC Chairman Professor Atayo Rujega gave this assurance at the 7th General Assembly of the National Council of Traditional Rulers of Nigeria in Abuja. He also appealed to the traditional rulers to partner with INEC on its bid to make a success of the forthcoming polls. Meanwhile, the federal government has appealed to traditional rulers across the country to enlighten their subjects on peaceful conduct during and after the elections. This was the thrust of President Goodluck Jonathan's message at the 7th General Assembly of the National Council of Traditional Rulers of Nigeria, with the theme Sustaining the Natural Mandate of the Traditional Institutions in Contemporary Nigeria. Speaking through the Vice President, Namadi Sambo, the President acknowledged the unifying force and the tremendous contributions of the traditional institution in maintaining peace and stability in the country. The President used the opportunity to also call on the royal fathers to join hands with the government at all levels to stem the tide of security challenges in the country. Earlier, the Sultan of Sokoto, Saad Abubakar III, reaffirmed the commitment of traditional rulers to the peace, unity, and stability of the nation, but also urged government to positively look into their recommendations. He said the Assembly was going to extensively deliberate on issues affecting the country, particularly INEC's preparations for the 2015 general election and the security ravaging the northeastern part of the country. And back to our earlier report now, the Economic and Financial Crimes Commission, EFCC, has honored several of its past and present operatives who contributed to the success that it has recorded since inception in 2003. Basi Aye has more from the Commission's maiden rewards and recognition ceremony in Abuja.
They have come from across the country after serving the nation at different levels within the anti-graft agency. Some were rewarded for long service, while others received Integrity Award, amongst other categories. Over 150 EFCC staff were honored for excellence, hard work, and commitment to service. And while the good ones are receiving honors, the Commission is not shying away from sanctioning the bad eggs in its ranks.
Having gone through all necessary legal and administrative procedures, a few officers have been dismissed from service, some are being prosecuted for unethical and unprofessional conduct, while others are facing various milder forms of disciplinary measures.
Delivering an address titled Rewarding Excellence and Integrity in Service, the keynote speaker stressed the need to celebrate the achievements of the Commission. He, however, suggested that divine intervention may be needed in the war against corruption.
Nigeria shall raise her hands to God. The Lord shall deliver us out of our trials. That delivery shall not be by chance. He is doing so already, employing secondary agencies such as the EFCC.
Pioneer chairman of the Commission, on his part, is convinced that the EFCC leadership is on track in spite of the challenges.
The way we started, we have no option to continue that way. We tried from the very beginning, like I said, dream, believe, passion, the passion to do it, the commitment, the zeal, the enthusiasm, the belief that if you don't do it, nobody else will do it. This is what EFCC is all about.
In celebrating excellence amongst its staff, the EFCC is taking a cue from the United States Federal Bureau of Investigation, which it actually understudied before coming up with its first ever recognition ceremony for deserving operatives. Basi Aye, CoreTV News, Abuja.
There are mixed reactions now over the fund raised for President Goodluck Jonathan campaign ahead of the 2015 presidential election. There's so much talk about 21.27 billion naira raised by some wealthy Nigerians and corporate organization has elicited concerns around the country. Omotoyalo seeks opinions on the issue in Lagos and filed in this report.
These public affairs analysts and politicians say they have no problem with the sum raised and stress that individuals who donated to the cause have a right to what they used their money for, the same way the party could decide on how it wishes to utilize the fund for the cause it was raised for.
We cannot begin to blame people for supporting a party of their personal choice. They could have, there will still be those who believe in APC and they will support it. There will be those who believe in the Labour Party, they'll put their money where their mouth is. I think it's perfectly normal.
It is done all over the world. It is not unique to Nigeria. In America and in England, you raise funds for election purposes because you are not allowed to put your money and your hand into the government purse to run for any election.
For some, the donations appear more like an investment by the donors. They argue that it would be wrong if public funds were secretly included to finance the cause.
Until we are prepared to take our own future in our own hands, it will always happen. So until we get up and decide that we want to change, and if you say you want to change and the two sides are the same, then it is a delusion to think that you can actually effect a change in just changing the face of whoever is the president.
That this money they are donating or they are contributing for campaign and so on will have a rippling effect when eventually that government comes to power. Because they are going to, it's an investment. It's like you have invested in a business. So time has come for you to get the profit. I think that is the argument we should be advancing. It's not that if you want to spend 20 billion on campaign, you should not spend.
Concerns have, however, continued to grow over the donations ahead of 2015 general elections. Omotoyalo, CoreTV News, Lagos.
Following last week's Southwest PDP gathering for President Goodluck Jonathan in Lagos, leaders of the PDP at the local government levels in the state have launched a grassroots campaign to re-elect Jonathan in 2015. Oluwaseyi Adegoke was at the Sheraton Hotels in Lagos and brought back this report.
Like last week's meeting of the Southwest PDP, the main agenda of the event was to highlight the importance, value, and achievements of President Jonathan and the need to support his re-election bid. The Lagos PDP chairman, Tunji Shele, says the opportunity offers another chance to continue the Jonathan transformation of Nigeria.
By the time you go into the archives and check his achievements in the various areas my brother has enumerated, you will know that given another chance, Nigeria will be transformed.
The PDP Southwest chairman, Makanjuola Ogundipe, smattering from what he described as a big success of last week's gathering of the party's chieftains in the region, at the same venue, says it is necessary for the people of the Southwest to support the re-election bid of Jonathan.
That Southwest remain the key to success for any presidential candidate. If that is the reason, and that's the true fact of the case, here in the Southwest, somebody was trying to do that Lagos State is a colony, and that you are autonomous, and that there's no way anybody can wish you away. But above that, the Southwest is key to the coming election.
In the same vein, chairman of the PDP leaders at the local government levels, Muftau Babalola, urged Lagosians to queue behind Jonathan come 2015.
We are determined not only to return Mr. President and his five Ashite Namadisambu, but also to take Lagos State for PDP come 2015.
We want President Jonathan to stay in place and continue the good work of the past 4 years. And we welcome the challenge of making our case to the people of Nigeria and of course, Lagos State in particular.
The event did not end without the party urging Nigerians to vote for the PDP at all levels during the forthcoming elections. Oluwaseyi Adegoke, CoreTV News, Lagos.
The governorship candidate of the People's Democratic Party in Adamawa State, Nuhu Ribadu, is finding the campaign trail quite tedious, but sees it as a task worth doing. He told CoreTV News on the sidelines of an EFCC awards ceremony in Abuja that he's determined to weather the storm in order to provide quality leadership. The former AFCC chairman, however, declined to speak on the uproar in the PDP ranks in Adamawa State over his emergence as flag bearer.
At all. Not easy at all. But I believe in myself. I also believe that anything given to me, I will do it to the best of my ability. And wherever I find myself, I will do my best. Today I found myself in politics, and I'm doing my best. I still remain the person I've always been in life. And I am doing my best, contributing what I can to ensure that we have success in my political aspirations and the party I belong to. I have no problem or issue in that regard. I'm working, and I believe that success will come our way.
The Utah draws nearer. The Ekiti state government has taken the opportunity to popularize its stomach infrastructure policy as the government house in Ado-Ekiti, the state capital, plays host to various categories of people. The state governor, Ayodele Fauci, led top government officials in the distribution of rice and chickens for the festive period. Fauci describes the development as its own version of welfare package. Rashid has more in this report.
It was an all-comers affair as the mammoth crowd that greeted the Ekiti State Government House cuts across all facets of the society, including the physically challenged. They all have a common goal: to benefit from the governor's largesse under his stomach infrastructure policy. For Fayose, it was a serious business as he personally supervised the distribution of the items. The beneficiaries did not fail to commend the gesture.
Oh, it's laudable. It's fantastic. We've not seen this type before, and we are very grateful to the government for even giving us the chance. I mean, this year is going to be a very Merry Christmas. I think it's actualizing the stomach structure policy of its government.
To the disabled and indigent, it is the best that could happen to them, especially at this festive period.
Everybody that is having the problem in the town, stomach infrastructure, there is problem in the town. Everybody is suffering about food, so that is why we came here to collect rice.
It's joy because I know that some didn't have what they can use to eat for this Christmas, and as if they are receiving their own now, they will start to be praying.
Fayose says the program is to keep faith with the Ekiti masses as promised during his campaign for the office of governorship.
If you want to sustain your faith, your hope, you need to be fed. You need to be looked after. You need happiness within your system. And in my policy, in line with democracy and the benefits of democracy, I must stand in support of the average man that cannot afford these essential commodities at Christmas. International community world over, that's what they call social welfare. This is social welfare, which I termed as stomach infrastructure.
As celebrated as the stomach infrastructure may seem, some, however, ask for gainful employment, as Fayose promises his government will create an enabling environment.
We youth in the town, we are suffering because there is no work. That is, if you provide work for us, at least even if you are collecting 15,000 naira in the month, it's still okay for us. So the sovereign will be released.
It's not something anybody will come out that I can solve problem of unemployment overnight. But there will be the environment that must be created by government to make sure that people get employed, people get self-employed, and where necessary, the intervention of government to make them happy.
Going by the development, a large number of Ekiti people have bought into the stomach infrastructure policy. How long will this remain is, however, matter of conjecture. Rashid, CoreTV News, Ado-Ekiti.
The Kaduna State Governor has empowered over 2,550 youth and women under its Youth Empowerment Development Program across the 23 local government areas of the state. This, according to the government, is to enable to improve the quality of their lives as well as contribute their own quota to the development of their various communities. Governor Mukhtar Yero says the beneficiaries were picked in equal numbers from the council areas to create a sense of equity and justice. The presidential candidate under the platform of the All Progressives Congress, General Muhammadu Buhari, has issued his first tweet from his official Twitter handle since winning the mandate of his party. In his first tweet, the candidate thanked his supporters and volunteers and all who supported his campaign and spread his messages through different handles. A statement issued by Buhari's media team showed the social media handles on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube are at This is Buhari. Within 6 hours, the APC presidential candidate had over 12,000 followers, and as at 8 p.m., it has reached 14,500 followers. The Kaduna State Governor has empowered over 250 2,550,000 youth and women under its Youth Employment Development. We brought you that report earlier. Moving away from there now, the Federal Capital Territory has put the total money spent on Ebola prevention kits and information materials in the wake of the recent outbreak in Nigeria at 100 million naira. It said the materials were distributed among schools in the FCT. Executive Secretary, FCT Education Secretariat Kabir Usman, who gave the figures in Abuja, however expressed hope that schools and the relevant agencies will continue to make use of the kits. Kabir explained that though Nigeria succeeded in stopping the Ebola virus, efforts are on to ensure that preventive measures continue through the distribution of the materials. You're on to CoreTV Primetime News. Join us again after this break for business, sports, and stories outside Nigeria. Don't go away.
Happy birthday to you. Happy birthday to you.
Happy birthday, dear Professor.
My former students.
Happy birthday.
Every day, life is made better by the moments of surprise we create for others and for ourselves. Be better. Surprise someone this season and make sure to text 11 to 400 to get a surprise from MTN. MTN, everywhere you go.
On business tonight, the World Bank is to commit $1.7 billion over the next 4 years to support Nigeria's power reform sector. The leader of the bank's energy task team, Eric Fenstam, discussed this at a capacity building program on post-privatization monitoring jointly organized by the World Bank and the Bureau of Public Enterprises. Fenstam said the amount represents 25% of a total sum of $7 billion earmarked for Nigeria in the next 4 years. He noted that the bank was encouraged to offer additional assistance for the power sector reforms as a result of the transparency exhibited in the transaction process and the robust post-reform measures put in place by the NCP-BPE. A BPE statement indicates that two-day workshop held at Ibom Gov Resort, Uyo Akwa Ibom State, was meant to expose participants to the techniques, methods, and information sources for effective post-privatization. The long-awaited transition electricity market has finally come as consumers may enjoy uninterrupted power supply come January 1st, 2015. The federal government announced that the effective date for the beginning of all contractual obligations in the Nigerian electricity market has been fixed for January 1, 2015. The Minister of Power, Professor Chinendu Nebo, discussed this at a stakeholders forum on Monday in Abuja, where he said the main focus of the team would be the consummation of all contractual obligations as stipulated in the market's rules. Nebo called on all players to fulfill their obligations, stressing that the federal government would not accept any excuse as to why they were unable to provide Nigerians electricity. According to Nebo, who says the Central Bank of Nigeria was ready, hence all market participants should perfect their papers in order to access cheap funds under the government's intervention initiative. The lingering metering in the power sector, they say, will also be addressed. However, more resources would be made available for investments to help block leakages in revenue. The Naira recovered after dipping by 2.5% on Monday. The Naira had recovered to trade at 182 Naira to a dollar by midday. Dealer says most of them were not trading because of central bank restrictions introduced last week. These include banning banks from holding their own funds in dollars and placing a 48-hour limit on how long dollars can be held after being changed from Naira. We now join Sabena Izoku for a report from the stock exchange. Stick around.
CoreTV News Stock Market Report is brought to you by MTN. MTN, everywhere you go.
Hello there and welcome to the Stock Market Report segment with me, Sabena Izuku. The equities market on the Nigerian Stock Exchange floor closed on a positive note today as the Nigerian All Shares Index appreciated by 3.52% to close at 31,371.93 basis points. The market capitalization increased to close at 10.35 trillion naira. And all a total of 337 million units of shares valued at 5.4 billion naira were exchanged in 5,057 deals. On the gainer side, Nestle topped the chart to close at 836 naira with a difference of 26 naira and 86 kobo, followed by Seplat Oil, Total, 40 Oil, and Guinness. On the flip side, 7 topped the charts, follow Ashaka Cement, International Breweries, CWG, and Eco International Incorporation. Meanwhile, Transcorp topped the traders chart, followed by First Bank of Nigeria Holding, First City Merchant Bank, United Bank for Africa, and Union Bank of Nigeria. Just before we wrap up the stock market report, here's the currency trade for today.
CoreTV News Stock Market Report is brought to you by MTN. MTN, everywhere you go.
Thank you, Sabina. Brownson Uwana is now standing by to bring you updates from the world of sport.
Thanks for joining me on Sport News tonight. I am Brownson Uwana. Manu Garba, coach of the Nigerian Under-20 team, has said that the Flying Eagles will aim at winning the African Youth Championship title in Senegal, as well as qualifying for the FIFA Under-20 World Cup next year. Nigeria will face host Senegal, Cote d'Ivoire, and Congo in Group A of the preliminary round of the 2015 African Youth Championship. The draw ceremony took place Sunday afternoon in Cairo. Garba was at the helm of affair when the Golden Eaglet defeated Mexico 3-0 in the finals of the 2013 FIFA Under-17 World Cup in the United Arab Emirates, and has chosen to promote most of the players that represented Nigeria last year at the Cadet Championship in the Under-20. Secret talks between FIFA officials and Sepp Blatter have taken place over his future as the president of World Football Governing Body. The discussion involving representatives from a number of football confederations are understood to have started in October 2013 at the celebration of the England Football Association's 150th anniversary. Blatter has since confirmed his intention to stand in May's presidential election and seek a fifth term in office. However, with the 29th January deadline looming for candidates to declare their interest, there is mounting concerns among several FIFA executives over the governing body's future direction and leadership. Real Madrid's coach Carlo Ancelotti has heaped praises on his players for crowning the year with the FIFA Club World Cup victory over San Lorenzo. The Italian manager said 2014 will be an unforgettable year for him and his players, while captain Sergio Ramos said the team's success this season is a reward for hard work.
First of all, I am extremely happy because we finished the year very well. As I said yesterday, it is going to be an unforgettable year for all of us. We reached a final that wasn't easy, especially during the first half. I think it is very special for Real Madrid, and as a captain, I am going to congratulate all my teammates for this great season. And after so many years, we can say that we won the Champions League. It was a reward to get this title, and we really played very well.
Finally on the news tonight, to the NBA Cleveland Cavaliers guard Kyle Irving, the MVP of the Basketball World Cup, was honored as the USA Basketball Male Athlete of the Year. Irving started in all 9 games for the American in Spain and averaged 2.1 points and 3.6 assists. He scored 26 points in the gold medal game, going 6 of 6 from 3-point range to spark a rout of Serbia. And that's my final whistle on Sport News tonight. A very big thanks for watching. I am Brownson Uwana.
You can now watch CoreTV News live from anywhere in the world on our website, www.coretvnews.com. Click on Live TV on our website and watch us live.
And welcome to CoreTV Primetime Days.
To follow us on Twitter, click on Twitter icon on our website. On Facebook, click on the Facebook and YouTube to see all our previous news production. You can also watch us live on YouTube. Click CoreTV, leave a space, then news. CoreTV News, a 24-hour news station.
And now to other stories outside Nigeria. A driver shouting Allahu Akbar, God is greatest in Arabic, plowed into pedestrians in Dijon, eastern France, injuring 11 of them just days after a man yelling the same words was killed in an attack on police officers. French police say he was arrested after targeting pedestrians in 5 different parts of the city in the space of half an hour, and that 2 of the people injured in the car attack in the city of Dijon were in a serious condition. He is said to be apparently imbalanced and have spent time in a psychiatric hospital. The lives of the 2 people seriously injured in Dijon are not said to be in danger. In the city center, traces of blood and attempts by authorities to cover up with sand could be seen, and victims and their families were being cared for at a hospital nearby. Witnesses told police the driver, aged around 40, had also said he was acting for the children of Palestine, an unnamed source says. Last year in France, a recent convert to Islam also stabbed a soldier in the busy Paris commercial complex and transport hub of La Défense. Before we go tonight, another look at some of our top stories. Reported that a few days after authorities issued warning on Boko Haram plans to attack soft targets, skulls are now killed in Bombay and Bauchi market explosions. The Independent National Electoral Commission has said the 2015 general elections will be better than that of 2011. Buhari Campaign Organization has promised an issue-based campaign towards the 2015 presidential election. And that wraps it tonight on CoreTV Primetime News. Thank you for watching. I am Nifemi Oguntoye.